that sound? It's the humming of the underground. Murder hornet gonna get you, boy, better look around. There's a rifle on my back, and I'm chasing after death. I ain't afraid of nothing, boys, don't hold your breath. Because I hunt and I fish and I play COD, and you ain't met a son of a bitch like me. And if you say you have, then your girl done lied. 'Cause there ain't nobody quite like this here guy.
Welcome to the Hornet's Nest. I am Elston, aka Murder Hornet 32. I kind of screwed up there. This is another episode of Murder on the Couch. I called it the Hornet's Nest because that's what I used to call my Twitch streaming account. When people come in, it's called the Hornet's Nest. We all just sit, chat, have a good time. So yeah, that's that's where I goofed on that one. You know, we had a good day yesterday. Today is Tuesday, July 14th. Yesterday was a really good day. I got to go fishing with my dad and my son. We had a good time. We went trout fishing up at Strawberry Reservoir. So if you're from Utah, you know where that is. But if you're not, it's a little bit. Let's say you're coming from Salt Lake City, you're heading to Park City. Keep heading south past Park City, southeast, and you'll connect into Heber, and you'll just keep going past Heber. And it's pretty decent. Pretty awesome reservoir. I love fishing it. Not a whole lot of people there. My alarm for bedtime is going off. That's my bedtime, people. But I gotta take my kid up there. We had a good time. We caught some fish. I mean, not a whole lot. We caught a few fish. It wasn't super exciting. I think it was just more about us being up there and just being in nature at that point. It's been really hot lately. And when we got up to the lake, it was somewhat cool. It was a little bit of cloud cover. Yeah, it got hot quick. Couldn't believe how hot it got. I mean, I remember being a kid and always being really cold. When my dad would wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go fishing up at Strawberry, we'd have to wear jackets. It was bad. We'd have to wear jackets. It was really bad. But nowadays I get up at 4:30. Maybe I'm just different. I don't know. We'd get up at 4:30 in the morning and then just go ahead and I lost my train of thought. See, this is what I love about this podcast. This is going to be 100% uncut, all natural. There's going to be issues. There's not going to be issues. You're going to hear music in the background. It's going to be chill. But we woke up at 4:30 in the morning. I got lunches ready for the fishing trip. Woke my son up. He had breakfast. It was a good day. He was excited. Kind of funny how, you know, when you're excited for something, you can get up super early, super quick, and not even bat an eye. But when I have to get up for work, yeah, forget that. I ain't waking up at 4:30 in the morning. Nobody wants to wake up at 4:30 in the morning for work. We get everything put together. I had all my gear prepped and ready to go the night before so we could just put it all in the car and get going. So I get over to my dad's house and we get there and let him know we're here, and he's like, "Hey, can you pull the cover off?" So me and my son, I like to call him Little Hornet, but he helps me take the cover off the boat and get that prepped and ready to go. And my dad comes out, he backs up his truck, and he hooks up his boat. And I latch it on, check everything. Everything seems tight, locked in, ready to go. Hook up the brakes. We head out, and sorry, that was him walking in. We head out. It's probably about almost 6 o'clock, so we're a little late. Getting up there. Start to drive. My dad asked me to drive, so I'm starting to drive and stop for gas, fill up the boat, get a couple snacks, a couple drinks, get back up on the highway, and something weird happens. Just something really weird. It hit a bump or something. Something happened, and next thing I know, the truck doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel normal. I look in the rearview mirror and the side mirrors, and I see the boat swaying. Why's the boat swaying that way? Pointed out to my dad, and sure enough, for the first time ever, pulling something, it come unhooked from the truck. Had the chains hooked up right way, so that was fine. The only thing that we had to do is we had to slow down. And it's kind of nice, when you've got your dad there, still being a dad. And I'll go back to this in a minute, but still being a dad, just being that calm voice saying, "Go slow down, do it slow, don't hit the brakes, just slow down." Or start slowing down. And I may have pulled over a little too fast, slowed down a little too fast. First time it ever come unhitched on me. So we get it off the side of the freeway, and yep, sure enough, boat was unhooked. We had to get it propped back up. We threw it back on the truck. Luckily, the spare tire was the first thing on the tongue of that boat, on that trailer to hit the road. And it rubbed so hard that it popped the bead on the tire, on the rim. So that shot, but we were able to get it back up, get back on the road safely, and we were probably about 45 minutes to an hour later than what we wanted to be to get up on the lake. And for some reason, I just get the urge to talk to my son who's sitting in the back seat. He's half asleep because he's tired. And I just tell him, I say, things like that in life happen a lot. Something that you can't control. When it does happen, the only thing you can control is yourself. And the best thing that you can do, telling him, is to stay calm. Now, if I'd have been doing that and I didn't have my dad with me to guide me through a situation like that, I would hope I would react the same way. But part of me feels like I probably would have panicked a little bit more. It's one of those things where I really feel like I would have panicked a whole lot more, and I would have done the one thing that my dad was telling me not to do. Freak out, slam on the brakes, pull over quick, and just end up flipping the boat, doing something that overreacting. I think that's what would have caused an issue, but I'm grateful that my dad was there. We get up there. I got a bunch of stories today. So we get up there, we start fishing, everything's going good, we're doing great. Just chilling. I swear every time, and I think my dad said the same thing every time. Get my kids pulling the water, teaching him how to fish. So, I'm having a little bit more patience, but getting his pole in the water, we not 2 minutes of getting it in the downrigger, and we start going, and I go to set up my fly rod because we'll extend it out the back and put a fly on the end. Not 2 minutes, and wham, gets a fish. Fish on. He's all excited and whatnot. He rips it out of the holder and pops it off the ball and starts reeling it in hard. And I'm like, whoa, take your time. Take it easy. Don't just be reeling it right in. And, he's just a young kid. He gets excited just like we all did. Reels it right up to the swivel. I'm like, oh, crap. Let's loosen that drag. Let's let that fish off a little bit so I can get some time to grab it. And it was a decent-sized rainbow. It was awesome. Now, this isn't the first fish he's caught, but it seems like the first fish every time he catches one. It's pretty awesome to watch that excitement. Now, me, I've kind of turned into my dad. I used to be like my son all the time. Super excited, freaking out, getting a fish, getting really loud. Oh, I got a fish on. And then my dad, we used to still fish when I was a kid. We didn't do trolling or nothing. So we'd have to sit there and be patient. Oh man, that was murder. But now it's like, I kind of wish I had those days. Kind of wish I had a moment just to put some power bait, some choke bait on the end of your pole and just cast it out there and let it do the work, and you just sit there, relax, take a nap. That's what I'd like to do. Just kind of take it easy and nice and slow. But as we're fishing, finally get the rod out. And it's funny. I made a post the other day on my I think it was Instagram or Facebook, I can't remember. Yesterday, after fishing, just kind of sitting through the experience. And so I'm going to kind of go through it again today, but let me pull it up. I'll just pull it up and read it because I can't remember what I said, and I felt like it was good enough that it worked. Let's see here. I'm going to switch this to my Facebook page here. So it says here, as I went fishing today with my son and my dad, which has always been a great pastime for me. Now I get to enjoy it with my son and share the wonderful moments with him. I'm pondering everything I've learned from fishing: patience, humility, gratitude, endurance, and most importantly, love for the outdoors and respect for the animals I can put on my dinner plate. In a way, fishing has a lot to do with everyday life. We must have those 4 attributes to place ourselves in a winning mindset and be successful in what we push ourselves to accomplish. Our goals and achievement to accomplish our goals and achieve the greatness we deserve. Stay strong. So I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit because, some people are like, well, how the hell does fishing come together with life in itself? Well, let's take the first part, humility. Fishing teaches us to be humble. This is something I try to keep teaching my boy. Be humble. You could kill it and do everything right, kill it, do everything right, and one day, and you're just slamming the fish all day long, every day, just having a blast. It's like you almost can't keep them off the pole long enough to take a break. But then you go out fishing the next time, you don't catch a damn thing. Dead. Either you forgot to look at, whether or not it was a full moon and the fish ate during nighttime, things like that, or it's just the storm's coming, so it's making them not hungry or agitated or aggressive at all. It teaches you humility. But then also those same things can teach you patience, teaches you, all right, well, this lure's not working, but maybe I'll wait a little bit longer to see if I can't get a bite. And then you wait, and then wham, about takes the fishing rod right out of the boat because they hit it so hard. You have to come across the right fish. You got to be patient. Gratitude, those days you're not catching fish sure does make you grateful for the days that you do catch fish. I want to catch fish all day, but there's going to be times where, you're not going to catch any. Like yesterday. Okay, so the last time I went fishing, me and my dad, we were just freaking, it was both, we had 2 poles out, because here in Utah you can have 2 poles per fishing license. 2 long lines out the back and 2 downriggers, and it was like one right after the other. First would be the downrigger, then it'd be the long line, then it'd be the downrigger, then it'd be the long line. And it was a blast, because half the time I'd get one on the downrigger, and just before I get it to the boat, a fish had hit the fly rod, the long line, about damn near pull the rod right out of the boat. There's a couple of times I was almost halfway in the lake because it was so quick. They hit it so hard, so fast. But you get days like that, and then you get trips like yesterday. Caught maybe 5 fish between all of us. Son caught 2 of them. I caught 1. I had one on the rod, but I lost it. And then my dad caught 2 or 3. So, it wasn't a super exciting day, but it was fun. That makes you grateful for the days that it's crazy insane. And then just the endurance, I mean, some people don't have the endurance to be out there all day long. I mean, I in the mornings I feel like I could fish all day. We get back at 3:30 in the afternoon and I'm dead tired, exhausted. I'd rather just fall asleep, not do anything, just go pass out because I'm exhausted. It's a long day being out in the sun, on the boat, trying to keep my kid happy, trying to keep lines from getting tangled. It's a little bit of work. Kind of the same way with life, it's just these things. You got to find something you love, but you have to have the endurance to push through it. A podcast is one of those things that's kind of similar. A lot of the times people will start a podcast and they won't get maybe 4 or 5 episodes in, and they give up because they don't have the endurance. Now me, I mean, I feel like I have the endurance. I've made it 7. This is number 8, I think. 8 or 9 episodes, which is great. Made it a little bit farther than most people do when they're starting out. But the hard thing is that you got to push through the lulls. And I think the reason why a lot of people give up is because they don't see that instant gratification. They don't see that instant result, so They don't continue. They don't push. They don't have the endurance to keep going through until they do see the results. So if I can give you one piece of advice today, it's endure. Endure the hard times so you can enjoy the good times. And it'll happen. It'll happen. I know it will. Just like I'm starting now. Like, when I first started streaming video games back in 2020, when COVID hit, I didn't know what I was doing. Getting my system set up, I had to have a lot of help. And that was tough. That was tough for me. It was one of those things where I had to do a lot of learning. And I still do. I'll take these breaks from these long breaks where I haven't recorded anything, and I'll get back into my recording system. They're like, all right, how does this work again? How do I change this? I go right back to Google, figuring out, watching videos, learning. You just got to keep pushing forward. Keep going forward. And that kind of brings to light of what happened to me yesterday. There's a few types of trout in Strawberry. You got your rainbow trout, which is more of an aggressive fish. You got your Bear Lake cutthroat trout that's been implanted. And then they usually implant those to take care of the chubs that tend to overtake lake systems. Then you got hybrids, so it's a mixture between a cutthroat and a rainbow. And I'm sure there's probably some brown trout in there or a brook trout. And then you've got another fish, the kokanee salmon. So we've got kokanee salmon in Strawberry. And it's kind of an interesting thing. Yesterday, take out a long line on this spinner I've never used before. It was my dad's, and he said, "Hey, try this color." Now I'm not gonna reveal what the color was, just because I'm a true fisherman at heart, so I ain't gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you what I used to catch it, but I wasn't trying to, anyways. I'm sitting out the back with the spinner on a casting rod, with my long line out while my son was watching the downrigger, because he's old enough he can have his own license now. So I'm sitting out the back of the boat, feet dangling in the water because it's hot as hell, and wasn't expecting it. Looked over at my fly rod, and I looked back over, and just as I did, wham! Fish about darn near pulled that pole right out of my hands. Scared the living shit out of me. Grab it, get up on my feet, and I start reeling it in as we're trolling. And start getting it in. I'm like, oh, that looks like a rainbow. And usually you can tell the difference between a rainbow and a cutthroat, because cutthroat are lazy. At least that's always been my experience. If you're just sitting there reeling with ease and it's not doing anything, it's because cutthroats are lazy. They'll swim towards the boat, and then when they get about 5-10 feet from the boat, that's when they start to freak out and they start to fight. Rainbows, they'll fight you all the way. At least that's what my experience has been. This fish was fighting me non-stop, so automatically I'm thinking rainbow. It was giving me a good fight. And finally get it to the boat. And I look down and say, oh, yep, that's a rainbow. I can see that. Now, the nice thing about it is you can keep rainbows. Doesn't matter what the size limit is, you can keep them. Cutthroats, you can't. They have a slot limit on them. I don't remember what that slot limit is. And usually when it comes to a cutthroat, I just throw it back anyways, because they're implants. It's very rare to find a rainbow outside of that slot limit. Either they're super small, or like the slot limit is either you can keep them if they're really small or really big. Generally, you find them 99.9% of the time you find them in that slot limit. So I don't even guess. I just unhook it in the water and let it go because there's no point. Rainbow, on the other hand, I'll keep it. I like eating fish, so I'll keep them. So, yeah, pull it up, put it on the stringer, and put it out the back of the boat while we continue to fish. Thinking, yeah, that's a rainbow. Cool. And it was a decent sized rainbow. I mean, it was a decent sized fish. It wasn't small by any means, but it wasn't giant. Good enough that I could get a couple good fillets out of it. So I keep it. And just as I said, I'm going to keep it, my son. A little bit of a side story. When we went ice fishing a few years back, we caught a couple fish. Same lake. Caught a couple fish, and I'm trying to teach him how to gut a fish. And he's gutting the fish, and I teach him how to do it, and I tell him to stick his fingers in the mouth and up the gizzard pretty much, and right where you cut it up. And as soon as he does it, he starts gagging like he's gonna hurl. He drops the fish, runs out the ice tent, and starts throwing up. He can't do it. So back to yesterday, he says, well, I can handle it. I can handle it now because biology, we dissected frogs and stuff, and I thought that was cool. I'm like, all right, well, maybe you can. Maybe you can handle it. Long story short, he couldn't handle it. He even thought it was the most disgusting thing ever. Taking the guts, ripping it out, throwing it in the lake. That's how we gutted it. So, yeah, he couldn't handle that. He couldn't handle it. So it gets to be about 1 o'clock. We have lunch. We're doing good. Get a couple more bites. He gets another great, beautiful rainbow. Stinking kid. He was sitting in the front seat of the boat, not paying attention to his pole. And I'm thinking to myself, I got this lure on here, and it's not hitting anything. Well, my dad's getting bites like crazy. Like, this is weird. It's practically the same lure, same colors, same everything. So I'm like, all right, let's check it. So I reel it in. Let's switch it out to the different one. Reel it in. And there's a fish on it. We've probably been dragging it forever. Dead. That's a stinker. We look at it, and it's a rainbow, which is a good thing because I always feel bad. But the law is, if you got a cutthroat and it's not outside that slot limit, you got to throw it back. Even if it's dead, you got to throw it back. To me, that's a waste, but guess not for the fish in the lake. They got to eat too. But start making fun of him for that, for not paying attention to his pole. So we get down to the end of the day, and we're heading back. We go to gut the fish, and my dad's like, I don't think that's a rainbow. And I look at it, put it in my hands. Sure as hell, kokanee salmon. First time catching a kokanee salmon, and I wasn't even trying to catch the thing. It was awesome. And I had it for lunch today. Fantastic. I will eat salmon any day of the week. That was the best filet salmon I'd ever had. Threw it on my Traeger, cooked it, smoked it, put a little bit of lemon juice, salt and pepper with a little bit of onion and garlic powder. So good. So good. It was awesome. So yeah, that was a good day. We get back to the house and take the boat off. Come to find out, sister had just had a baby on the Sunday, so her husband was there getting a few things before he went back to the hospital, so I congratulated them on that and whatnot. get everything all gathered up. And it was just and we head home. It was just a good day. We got back about 3:30, 4 o'clock almost. Awesome day. Awesome day. But that got me thinking. Yesterday got me thinking about that post, and that's when I posted that and put it on there. But when it came to the end of the day, I started thinking, buying fishing lures is expensive. Cheapest one I bought recently was $5. $5 for a metal lure with paint on it. And there was a lure that my dad had that he was catching the fish on. And it's like, looking at it, I'm like, that's super simple. I could paint one. That's easy. I painted 3 last night. I took some old lures, spoon lures. Took my, you guys are going to laugh, but I took my wife's gel nail kit for her fingernails. She's got a little, almost like a Dremel tool with a sander on it. And I took that and I sanded down about 5 or 6 of my old spoon lures that the paint was chipped off and whatnot. I'm like, I can still use the metal. It's paint, just because the paint's gone doesn't mean I can't use the lure still. So I took it, ground it down, and I made my own. I've still got more. I haven't painted them all, but I want to kind of change it up a little bit, see what works, kind of throw in some wild colors. I used ChatGPT to make me a couple of ideas, give me a couple ideas to paint the lures. And I used my wife's gel nail kit. I used her gel nails and UV cured it and everything just like they do in the manufacturing plants, just I probably saved myself $5, $10, about $40 in lures, painting lures. I don't have to go out and buy any. So that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start finding some old lures that people aren't using or whatnot, and I'm just going to make my own. Forget buying them. And then I started looking online, getting blank ones. It's even cheaper. For $13, I can get a pack of 50 of empty metal lures, spoon lures that I could just paint myself. Start selling them. Business idea. So yeah, I just had a lot of fun doing that. It was a good day, and it kind of brings to point about what you could do with your life. A young man out here this is what the podcast is about. This is why I dedicate it. Because I want it to be about being able to help young men find their way. Look at things that you guys like to do as a hobby. It could be fishing, it could be hunting, it can be golf, it could be baseball, whatever. Find a portion of that specific topic that you like to do and see what you can do with it. You never know what you can accomplish. I think it's one of those things that can take you far if you just think a little bit outside the box. And if it's something that you truly enjoy, you'll never work a day in your life. And I mean it. If you're happy doing what you do, you'll never work a job in the day in your life. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be days that you do hate it. There's going to be days that are really hard for you to wake up and do it. That's where your endurance comes in. The humility, the patience. The heartburn. An old man. Adjust my chair here. Oh, that was a little fast. Oh. Make that adjustment. So, yeah. Figure it out. I think it can be something that you can, if you really truly love it, take a certain aspect of that hobby that you like to do and see if you can recreate it yourself and make a living off of it. I mean, it doesn't have to be, make you millions. I mean, it could, but if it gives you an extra couple $100 a month. Awesome. You got money set aside for a savings account already. That's something that's great. You don't have to worry about that extra couple $100 because you're earning it. And that adds up over time. You put that in a CD and you keep adding that couple $100 every month. Next thing you know, you've got a couple grand at the end of the year. It's brilliant. You know, that's one thing that you can do. To be honest with you, that's what I spent most of my day-to-day doing. Of course, I had to take my laptop to an IT guy to make sure it was running right, because, it hasn't been updating properly, so I had to take it to an old job of mine, old company I used to work for, and they fixed it up for me. But then the rest of the day, I was painting lures, and it was awesome. I had a TV show on my phone, and I was painting lures, and I was having a good time. Wasn't stressed out. I didn't have a bad day. It was awesome. It was killer. I thought to myself, I get good enough at this, I could sell them. I could be the one that's selling them for, because they're hand painted. I could be selling them for $10-15 a lure. Not saying that that's what the price would be. I'm just throwing out a number. But yeah, I think that would be killer. And it's kind of funny. I use ChatGPT because I'd send the pictures in and be like, hey, what do you think about this? Any tweaks that I could make? And I make those tweaks on the next one. And the funny thing is I was like, hey, give me another idea. And it created a banner and it said Murder Hornet Lures. Look at ChatGPT already making a business for me. Isn't that freaking awesome? It's super cool. Hey, you heard it here first. Murder Hornet Lures. My idea. Don't steal it. But yeah, that's been my past couple of days. I'm hoping the rest of the week is like this. Tomorrow we're going to go out, have lunch with my wife while she's at work. I have the whole week off because I get my kid for a full month because he's from a previous relationship, so I get him for 4 weeks. And this week is the last week, so I took it off so I could spend time with him and get to bond with him more, so that way, you have a good, strong connection. Fathers, dads, divorced dads especially, don't give up. Don't give up on your kids. Because in all reality, they're the ones that truly suffer when it comes to that. So do everything you can to be a part of their lives. Worth it. If you're having doubts about it, don't. Step up. Be the man you need to be. Be the father you need to be. And always be there for them. I'll thank you for it. Oh, here's a funny story. So I didn't know this, but I got a fishing reel. I got a fly rod and a reel from Shields, which they sell really good stuff. But I was tight on a budget, so I bought a cheaper model fly rod and reel because I spending a whole lot of money on a fly rod then was kind of hard for me. But I did it because I wanted to fish and I wanted to have a good time and I wanted to be able to have the experience. So I bought it, but I was getting really irritated because I've had it for a couple years. And every time I'd go fishing, stupid line would tangle up. And I don't know how it would do it, but you've got the brackets in between in the center that, so it's like this. And then you've got bracket, little brackets in between that connect. And just keep the line inside the spool. Somehow when I'd reel it in, it would get caught on one of those brackets and slide in there and create a loop around it. And for the longest time, I thought I had to take little screws out and take it completely apart and just pull it apart and untangle it. You know what I found out today? Is that damn thing there's a little button that you can push. And for the longest time, I had no idea what it was. I had no idea. I knew to fly rods. I had no freaking clue. So I'm sitting there messing with it. I'm like, this is so dumb. And I pushed the button, and I don't know what I did. I moved my hand away, but I still had it, and it came off. It came apart, just like that, with a little click of a button. And I was able to untangle it real quick, put it back on, slam it together, and bam. I feel like a freaking moron. This whole time I'm taking 2 little screws out with my knife, trying to get it done because I don't have a screwdriver on there. Take the cover off of it, remove the button with the little spring, put it on the side of the boat, put it in a spot of the boat where I don't lose it. What's my deal? You stupid dummy. That's what I was telling myself. I'm like, my dad started laughing. He's like, well, if I'd have known I had a button on it, I would have told you that's how you take it apart. I'm like, oh, gee, thanks, Dad. Appreciate it. And then my kid's getting a kick out of it, too. Kid loves to laugh at his dad, I tell you what. Yeah, so that was my blooper for yesterday. Oh, man. It's been a good month. I love having my kid with me. I don't let him watch the podcast because I swear a lot on it. And, he's only 13, so I try and give him the dadly advice and whatnot in person. One day he'll watch this podcast and he'll laugh and remember that day. At least that's what I hope he will. But, man, look at me. 41 minutes, not 42 minutes already. Snap. It goes a lot better when you just wing it. I'm sitting there using ChatGPT. Hey, create a script for me. Nah, I needed this. I try it, and then 20 minutes, and I'm done. Like, what kind of you said that would take 45 minutes to do. What the? So much easier. So much easier to talk about the experiences that you have every day. That's what this podcast is about. It's about the experiences. And I don't have this podcast for the young men who don't have dads in their lives. Be jealous or not want to listen. There's someone out there that you can be connected to that'd be willing to have the same experiences with you and teach you the same things that I've learned from my dad. My dad grew up without a dad. 14 years old when his dad died. I never knew my grandpa. At least not in this life. And my dad, he had to learn the hard way, becoming a dad. He had to learn with me. Did we have some hard times? Yeah, we did. I don't know what son doesn't have a hard time with his dad. But I can tell you now, as an adult, mine and his relationship is amazing. He's one of the best men I could ever know. I'm so grateful he's my dad. For those of you who don't have dads in your lives or have lost your dad, don't worry. There's someone out there that'll be willing to help in and step up and take that lead for you. And if someone doesn't, then you just make sure that you are the father that you didn't get to have. Which also kind of brings to light, it's kind of funny, but my connection is on the other end. My biological mom wasn't in my life, so I know how it feels to not have a parent there. I have a stepmom, yeah, and she's great. She's awesome. She was there for me for a lot of my life, 99.9% of my life. So far. My biological mom, I only remember one outing with her, and after that it was nothing. So I know what it's like to not have that biological parent there. So keep your head up. I know what it feels like. Kind of somber tone there for a minute. I like to get serious and I like to have fun. So at the same time, late enough I could have had a beer. Should have. Oh well, what do you do? Again, like I said, this has been great, and I'll share more of these experiences with you. I like to have a good mixture of everything. The last 7 episodes it was more, I don't want to say necessarily scripted, but it had more of a solid point to it than today did, and I think that's okay. We like to have these, and hopefully here in the next week, I can get Shutting Down the Holler put together, and my buddy from Kentucky can jump on. I'd love to have him on here, but he says he can only do it on Friday night because that's his drinking day. And to be honest with you, when that man drinks, we'll have a good time. We'll have a really good time. I think it'll be really good. Well, all right. Well, it's 46 minutes in. I'm starting to lose my voice. My voice is getting tired. I need to go to bed. But thank you for joining me here on Murder on the Couch. It's been great to have you. Once again, my name is Dustin, a.k.a. Murder Hornet 32. Maybe next episode I'll tell you why I do that 32. Well, I'll just tell you now. It's because I've always done it that way. I don't know. It just felt awkward. I got to do something with my hands. So, Murder Hornet 32. So, thank you for joining me here. It's been great. You guys are awesome. For all my subscribers on Patreon, YouTube, Twitch, thank you so much for your support, your continued support. If you haven't, please click that like and follow and subscribe button. You can find me on Facebook as well. Murder on the Couch is the title of my page. I also have an Instagram, Murder on the Couch, where I'm going to start. You won't see much right now, but I'm going to start posting pictures and photos and thoughts and things like that. So please give me the support. I love it. I need it. Well, I don't need it. I want it. There's a difference. But I appreciate it when you do. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But like I said, I'm Dustin, a.k.a. Murder Hornet 32, and I am buzzing out. Y'all have a fantastic, wonderful day.